section 9.3, and we're going to try to find x first, and then we're going to try to find the angle COB. So first thing I'm going to notice is that that's a diameter, so 4x plus 18 plus 10x minus 6 equals 180 degrees, because that's a semicircle. Putting my like terms together, I get 14x plus 12 equals 180. If I subtract the 12, not an x, subtract the 12, I get 14x equals 168. Divide by 14 gives me 12. So now let's see if we can answer our question, the measure of angle COB, which would be that one. So I'm going to take 10 times 12 minus 6, so 120 minus 6 gives me 114. In this case, we're asked to find DOC, and we already found that x is equal to 12, so 4 times 12 plus 18 gives me 48, and 18 gives me 64 degrees. On this one, they're asking for AOB, and since this one's 55, this one would be 180 minus 55, or 125 degrees. On this one, they're asking us to find the measure of arc LM. Well, because the central angle and the arc have the same measure, my arc will be a 150 degree arc. On this one, they want us to find the measure of arc MOL. Well, we know that this is 30 because that makes it a diameter or a semicircle. Vertical angles puts that as a 30 degree angle. So we get 180 plus the 30 gives me 210 degrees. On this one, we know that Diane runs in a circular track that has a radius of 55 feet. After running 3/4 of the distance, how far did she run? Well, if she ran 3/4 of a circle, 2 pi r, let's put that in my calculator. So 3 times 2 times pi times 55 equals, divided by 4 equals, and I get 259.2 feet. All right, so those were the review questions. We're going to talk about some arcs and chords relations, and we're going to throw in some diameters. Okay, so if you need to pause to write this down, you certainly may. It basically says that if a chord is equal to another chord, then the arc is equal to the arc. On this one, it's asking us if these two are the same length, then those two are the same measure. So if one of them is 90, then the other one is also 90. Same deal with this one. They say that this arc is 85 degrees. If they are equal to each other, that's what those marks mean, then that one has to be 85. On this one, if we go back to the theorem, it said, or congruent circles. So since these are congruent circles, they tell us that there, then we know that 7x minus 2 is equal to 5x plus 6, or minus the 5x from both sides gives me 2x minus 2 equals 6. Add the 2. 2x equals 8. X equals 4. So if we want to find this length, which is the WX, I'm going to plug in 4. So 7 times 4 minus 2 gives me 26. Same deal with this one. If they are congruent, then we know that 3x minus 5 is equal to 2x plus 1. Subtracting 2x from both sides gives me x minus 5 equals 1. X must be equal to 6, so I'm going to plug 6 in here, which gives me 13. And pause it if you need to write down these theorems. They say that if a line is congruent and bisects a chord, then it'll go through the center. It'll be a diameter. And it also cuts it into 2 equal parts. So if it cuts it into 2 equal parts and it's perpendicular, then it's a diameter. So basically what that's saying here is if this is 160 degrees, well, if it cuts it into 2 equal parts, then that and that would be both equal to 80. Notice that it's not a central angle. This right angle isn't a central angle because the center is over there. On this one, we're trying to figure out how long CD is. CD is from there to there. And they tell us that AB all the way across here is 18. And they also say that chord EF, that length, is 8. Well, if we look at it, we notice if we measure a little bit, we have 2 that it doesn't, then it hits 1, then it's 2 that it doesn't, then it hits 1, 2 that it doesn't, then it hits 1, and then 2 that it... So it's symmetric, which tells me that this is a square, and if this whole side length is 8, then half of it would have to be 4. This one is the same picture without all the fanciness in there, and this one they say that the diameter is 14, and that the chord, this length here, is 10. So then halfway across here would be, halfway across there would be 5. Here's another theorem. Feel free to pause it and write it down. It says that if you're perpendicular to a chord and the chords are equal to each other, then the distance to the center would be equal to each other. Which means that 4x minus 3 would equal 2x plus 3. Add the 3, 2x equals 6, so x must be 3. And if x is equal to 3, then we get 2 times 3 plus 3 gives me a length of 9. Same dealio for this one. We know that these two are the same length. They say they are. So then 3x minus 6 equals x plus 8. 2x minus 6 equals 8. 2x equals 14. X equals 7. And if x is equal to 7, then RS must be 15. Awesome. Well, there's your video. Have a great day.